Penguin Random House Audio presents The Violence by Delilah S. Dawson. Read for you by Hillary Huber. To the survivors. I used to blame myself for not doing more, for not leaving earlier, for not pushing back, for not fighting him. Now I am kinder to the younger version of me. Now I believe that survival is enough. Author's note. The Violence deals with themes of physical, emotional, and sexual abuse and includes animal death and graphic violence. Some of these scenes may be distressing for some readers. Writing this book and examining these themes has been part of my own healing journey. My relationship with my father was complicated. When sober, he was perpetually disappointed in me, and when drunk, he was emotionally and physically abusive. Chelsea's nights in the kitchen are based on what my mother and I experienced at his hands. He was so well loved in our hometown that no one believed us. From the outside, things were perfect. When I was 18, my mother and I left, and we met a very special therapist named Betsy. I can't remember her last name or her exact title, only that she's the first person who said, "You understand that this is abuse, right? You are being abused." Until that moment, I didn't understand. I thought my life was normal. She also sent my father to Narcotics Anonymous, which inspired him to stop drinking. To my knowledge, he never drank alcohol again. But that did not stop him from being emotionally abusive, gaslighting, controlling, and manipulative until the very last. As the narcissist's prayer goes, that didn't happen, and if it did, it wasn't that bad, and if it was, that's not a big deal, and if it is, that's not my fault. When we left in 1995, the internet wasn't yet able to answer all our questions, so I'm grateful to the family and friends who helped us, who saved us. Abusers often leave their victims with few resources, but there is help out there. If you're experiencing abuse, please seek support. You are not alone. The first recorded incidents of the violence occurred as Ruth Belmont of Land O'Lakes, Florida, was putting a tub of mayonnaise in her cart at a warehouse store on Tuesday, April 15, 2025. The peaceful and highly religious grandmother dropped the mayonnaise, reached for a large bottle of Thousand Island dressing, and struck a fellow customer, 24-year-old Melissa Mendoza. Mendoza's toddler sat in the seat of her buggy and watched silently as the elderly woman beat her mother to death with a bottle of dressing. Once Mendoza was dead, Belmont replaced the dressing on the shelf, selected a new bottle, and attempted to continue shopping. As local law enforcement tackled her to the ground, Belmont screamed, cried, and claimed innocence. Store cameras captured the grisly scene. When the violence was discovered to be a disease, Belmont was released from jail. She is now suing the state for $1.3 million in damages, including a broken collarbone. Later sufferers were not so lucky. Part 1. 1. Chelsea Martin sits in a perfect sunbeam at her perfect kitchen table, staring at the piece of paper that's going to destroy her life. Insufficient funds? Impossible. Her husband David manages their bank accounts, and he's in finance, so this must be a mistake. She's read the aggressively detached, computer-printed words 100 times, and an unwelcome sensation roils deep in her stomach, her coffee threatening to come back up. It's not panic, not yet, but it's not good. Would David tell her if they were in trouble? She glances at her phone and considers the best way to ask without insulting him. A text would be safest. He hates it when her voice wobbles. He says she cries too easily, that it's impossible to have a conversation with her when she's so emotional. No, not worth it. He'll come home and see the paper, and he'll handle it. Let him be angry at the bank, not the messenger, and let him be angry later rather than both now and later. She unconsciously puts a hand to her throat and swallows hard, dreading what will happen when he gets home from work. Definitely not worth bothering him now. She tries to focus on what she was doing before the mail arrived, but she knows logging onto the online portal and watching the mandatory weekly Let's Sell Dreams video will only make her feel worse. When she signed her contract to sell Dream Vitality essential oils, she'd hoped it would give her some small amount of independence, something to do, something to be proud of. Now, staring into the depths of a wooden case filled with tiny purple bottles, all full and unopened and gathering dust, she never wants to smell bergamot again. A brand new cardboard box waits in the foyer, her monthly required shipment optimistically labeled Dream Delivery. But after a year of trying to sell a product that's supposed to sell itself, she's ready to admit defeat. She had a dream to start her own business, build savings, and tap into a network of smart, motivated women. Instead, she's alienated friends through the required social media posts, embarrassed her daughters, and outlived her welcome at every party and playgroup, and all she has to show for it is boxes and boxes of product that she can't even sell at cost. Even before the, surely incorrect, overdraft notice arrived today, she worried that this month's withdrawal would take her over her strict budget, and that when David found it during his account check, things would get bad. The hardest thing is that her attempt at entrepreneurship has shown her that most of her friends online aren't really friends. There's no support, no sharing, no purchases, no reviews. Everyone just ignores it. The only encouragement she gets comes from a back-rubbing circle of other plucky moms trying to support one another in an online group with good vibes only. And she wonders if everyone else also secretly feels this constant exhaustion, this disconnection, this profound loneliness. It was supposed to save her, but it just got her in more trouble. Buck up, bitch, she tells herself. It's just oil. Not that it makes her feel any better. She runs her hands through what's slowly becoming her mother's hair as her stylist increasingly covers the gray with bleach in a process with a French name that doubles the cost. The perfect pool sparkles outside the picture window, but she can't jump in because it would make her hair as crisp as uncooked spaghetti with a bonus mossy tinge. She looks around at the shiplap, the granite, the Edison bulbs, the seasonal throw pillows. Everything is perfect, but nothing is right. Even the snowy white dog snoring on a matching dog bed is boutique. A shedless Bichon named Olaf that cost more than Chelsea's first car because David couldn't stand the thought of dog hair rolling along the marble floors like tumbleweeds. Poor sweet Olaf is terrified of him and spends most of his time hiding in a closet. But then again, Olaf is deeply inbred, a yipping bag of neuroses and surprise puddles of pee. The big and airy house is the complete opposite of the shitbox apartments Chelsea grew up in. It should be beautiful and relaxing, but it's closing in on her, an avalanche of stuff, and the never-ending work it takes to keep that stuff either proudly displayed at perfect angles or hidden from view, to keep everything running. She never imagined that life would be like this, that she would feel so constantly trapped. Chelsea is pouring another cup of coffee that will barely touch her bone-deep disquiet when the doorbell rings, sending her entire body rigid. She scans the wall calendar, the dates empty of commitments and the top crammed with posed pictures of her family in matching crisp white shirts, but no one is due to work on the house or make a delivery. Between Dream Vitality and David, most of her old friends keep their distance these days. Which means only one thing. Her feet already know it and are propelling her backward, away from the soaring foyer and toward the laundry room, where the windows are too high up to tattle on her as she hides. The garage door is closed, after all. there's no way to tell she's home. And then her phone buzzes.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?